Hello there, viewer on the other side. Welcome to this YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about beliefs and how they work and how you can use them to your advantage. Right, so let's just get into it. Beliefs. So, first of all, what is a belief? A belief is when you think of something to be true. I think at least. Let's actually see here. Beliefs, and we're gonna go define beliefs, right? And acceptance that something exists or is true, especially one without proof, right? Let's actually copy that and set it in here. So, this is really, really important. Let's look at this, right? An acceptance that something exists or is true, especially without proof. So what could a belief be? Ghosts are scary, right? A belief could be ghosts are scary. I can't even spell ghost. Damn. Ghost is or are, I don't know, right? Don't judge me. Ghosts are scary. Okay, that's a belief. Now, beliefs can be very, very, very strong because if I'm sleeping in the middle of the night and I hear a noise, like something squeaking or something like fell on the floor, or I don't know, something, and I believe in ghosts, I believe that they are real, right? I believe that ghost is real. Then I'm going to panic, wake up and think, oh my God, there's a ghost in the building. And when I think there's a ghost in the building, or in my house, or in my apartment, wherever I am, of course I get anxious because I believe that ghosts are scary, and therefore when something is scary, like the body reacts in a way where it's in accordance with a scary situation. So like your heart rate starts to bump up and you get kind of scared and you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? This is really, really, really like I'm getting anxious, you know? But if you don't believe in ghosts, well, like it isn't a ghost when you hear a sound in the middle of the night. You're just like, oh, it's the wind. Back to sleep, right? And you might have heard of this exact example before from a man named Emery. Andrew Tate, the third or first or second, I actually don't know. But yeah, basically, you accept that ghost exists even though you haven't seen one. You have never seen a ghost, but you believe they exist, right? So let me Google something for you here. Right, this is a very controversial topic, right? Andrew Tate says, let me see if I can actually, how do I transcribe this? I think that is something you can do. I actually don't know. It doesn't matter. Basically, I don't know if you can hear it on this loom, but basically what he's saying is like the paradigm of thinking that depression as a disease is uncurable and is something you can't control is a very dangerous paradigm. And I actually understand where he's coming from with this. Now, I don't want to take no stance here, say depression isn't real, depression is real, because that's not the point of this video. The thing is, he says like, depression, feeling depressed is very possible. Everyone does that. Like, I feel depressed sometimes, you probably feel depressed sometimes, Andrew Tate feels depressed sometimes. Like, we all do these things, like we all feel sad, and like emotionally down at certain points of our lives and or our day. But like the thought about depression as a whole not being able to be something you can do something about is a scary thing. Because when we accept that depression as a disease is not something we can do anything with, right? Then it gets scary. Because when you catch the disease, then you're fucked. You can't do anything, right? When you accept that ghosts are real, you can't just like unreal them, I guess you can say. So the thing is, Andrew Tate likes to say that he doesn't believe in depression and depression isn't real because he don't want to believe it is real. That is his perception of reality, right? He doesn't want to believe it's real because if he believes that depression is real, he will now be able to catch the disease, depression. And he doesn't want that because he doesn't believe in things that takes power away from him. That's actually also something I'm going to write here. Tate does not believe in things that take power away from him, right? So this is as an example. He does not believe things that take power away from him. And I feel that is a very, very strong mindset to have. Like, I don't want to believe that things that can hurt me, take away from my business, take away from my personal life, take away from my happiness are real. Because when you think about it, like, like I don't have any form of medical understanding of how depression works. So of course, like I'm just using this as an example because this is very well spoken about and a lot of people have heard this before. And I don't really have another example at hand. But like this exact thing has been discussed at length, that I don't believe in depression. So let's actually go through some of the comments here. So some girl named Susan says, he is so right. I had a depression for most of my life. I'm 65 out in the last year. I repeated positive thoughts and it worked, and I wish I knew this years ago. So because she told herself like, I am happy, I am not depressed, I can never get depressed again. Well, at some point, when you have convinced yourself enough times, that becomes your reality, right? It's actually really, really, really interesting, and I could make a really long video. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to do that because fuck that, or fuck this. I don't know. But let's just look at her comment again here. I repeated positive thoughts and it worked, right? So with this early example of the ghost being real and you start to feel anxious and all this stuff, like the whole thing is imaginary. Like you don't know if it's real. It could just be the wind or like some stick on a tree, like breaking or something. But you give the ghost power by believing in it. When you believe that depression is something you can't get rid of, you give it power to take control over your life. And I know it is way easier said. Like if you are sitting with a struggling depression and feeling really depressed right now, and like just saying, hey, I don't believe depression is real, it's probably not going to fix your problem, right? Because you have to take some sort of action, physical action, in order to like stop this feeling and disease of depression. Next up. But the thing that's really, really interesting here is she repeated positive thoughts and it worked, right? So she told herself, hey, I'm a positive person. I cannot get depressed. I'm happy. I'm not depressed, blah, 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 all of these things. And then over time, she has accepted that her reality is being happy, and her reality is don't believing in depression is not curable until it became true, right? So she basically just told herself, hey, I'm not depressed and I can never get depressed again. And then when you do that enough times, you will start to believe it. Why do you think? Another thing I like to think about is like when you look at the sky, we all see the blue sky if there's no clouds. And I like to think about sometimes like if you look at the dawn of human time, like there has been humans on the earth for a very long time. But imagine if the first guy or girl just said that, hey, the sky is green. And then they told their kids, hey, the sky is green when the sun is out. And then their kids told their kids and their kids and their kids and their kids until now, the 6th of March, 2024, right? So the interesting thing is like, we believe that the grass is green. We believe that depression is a non-curable disease and it's really gonna fuck up your life. So I don't know if you can actually hear the audio here on the Loom. I don't really know how I'm gonna test it. But let me actually just Google beliefs and see if I can show you some examples. How beliefs work. All right. Okay, so Google honestly has nothing good right here. This is just like matrix-minded people. Like, what the fuck is this? Okay. Anyways, let's look at some more comments. I agree with Andrew. I don't know what depression is because I've never believed in it and never been through shit. So this guy has never like been through hell, so he probably doesn't know what hells look like, of course. And I haven't also been through hell, so it's like now. Keep in mind we have watched 27 seconds of the video. So obviously there's some comments regarding like what he's saying here, for example. I do not believe things that takes power away from me. That is like the key thing here. Like, fuck if depression is real or not. Like, that doesn't matter. Or it kind of does, but also, if you think about it, like, the only reason money is worth something is because everyone on earth accept that it is true. They accept that money is worth something, right? So if everyone just woke up tomorrow and said, you know what? The number here on my bank on my phone, fuck that. I don't believe in that. The money here, the physical money right here, I don't believe in that. If everyone said that, like first of all, the world would probably be screwed over because like money makes the world go around, right? But the thing is, the power comes from people believing in it. So people believe that a supercar can drive fast. First of all, because they have seen, okay, that's a bad example. But people believe money works only because the belief gives it power. That's like the main thing. So I think I find that really, really interesting to think about it that way. Like the only reason something is begging you or like, I don't know if you can say taking over your life or whatever you want to call it is because you believe and allow it to do so. All right. Once upon a time, when I started my first business, a really long time ago, like let me see if I can come up with a good example here. Right. Even though I am in monk mode right now, my brain is still lagging for some reason, which is actually really annoying. But yeah, basically, I once had a belief about, hey, I find it hard to deliver results through Facebook ads, right? And why did I think that? Well, I always thought that, hey, this is really hard, and I see these guys on Instagram living in Dubai, having Rolexes on their wrist and like earning a lot of money, and they are good at it. Well, I'm not in Dubai, and I don't have a Rolex yet. To both things, therefore I must be bad at it, right? And also because I was working with some clients that was really hard to actually perform for, because the ad spend was so low, and therefore we generated average results, right? But the thing is, like, then I told myself over and over again, hey, I'm bad at this. I'm bad at this. It doesn't work for me, right? And that is the scary part, because when you repeat these things to yourself, it's like it amplifies the belief. So if I told myself 1 million times, you are the greatest of all time and you are going to be making so much money that even Elon Musk is going to be behind, there's a higher chance of me achieving that if I told myself that 1 million times than if I didn't tell myself at all, right? So when we tell ourselves, hey, I'm not a disciplined person. Hey, I like to go out every weekend and get wasted. Hey, I like to drink a shit ton of soda and eat chips, slicks, not slicks, candy, and all of this stuff, right? That is like the paradigm and the belief that we are creating around ourselves. And of course, you have to go out and make actual, like, proof of what you're believing is right. So I believe that I am a disciplined person. So every time I eat candy and drink soda, I kind of say to myself, hey, you're not disciplined, because I'm proving my belief wrong. But every time I'm waking up at 6:30, going to the gym, working out, getting home, working on my business, then I am saying to myself, hey, the thing about you being disciplined, that is right. So also another important thing to remember is go out and create actual physical proof of your beliefs, like the ones that are good for you, right? If you have a belief about you being depressed all the time, you will be depressed all of the time, right? If I thought to myself like, fuck this shit, I don't know what to do, I'm gonna give up, my business sucks, like this is hard. Well, if I think it's hard, it's going to be hard. But if I think, you know what, client acquisition is so easy that it would be easier for me, it would be easier than going out taking a shit, right? Then client acquisition will become really easy. You will find it easy because, oh, how do I get clients? I just outreach. Simple, right? And I know, like, for my business, I make these videos because I want to get the attention of consultants and service businesses, like online courses. And I haven't really touched on that yet. But one of the things I see right now with two of my clients, they both having a kind of a hard time selling, right? And when you have a hard time selling, of course you won't make any money because you won't be selling anything. And when you don't sell stuff, you don't get money, right? So when you actually think about it, every time they have a bad experience with sales, it's going to amplify the belief of them being bad at sales, right? And every time they have a good experience with sales, it's going to amplify the other thing. Hey, I'm good at sales, right? So if you think about it, let me actually draw this out for you right now. I'm going to visualize it for you. So imagine you here. Is there some way I can find a... Right, I'm going to show you how this shit works right now. Let's just take this guy here. We have this person here. Let's just do this. And this is you, right? This is you right here. Then basically what we have here is a line. And let's just go like this. It's just a bucket. And then let's just do drawing. The G-R-A-W-I-N-G. There we go, drawing bucket. Let's just take this one. I'm going to copy this inside of the Figma board here. And then we are going to make this, right? This is the green bucket. I'm going to move myself here. Green bucket. Let's just go over here. Red bucket. right? All right, so let me tell you. So let's just take sales as an example, right? I'm gonna make it huge. Sales, right? So this is you, and this line here basically represents your experiences. Like, let's say you get an experience, like, okay, my client gets an experience with sales being hard. Like, some guy said, no, hey, I don't want to buy your product. I don't think you have not convinced me yet. Boom. Then they get water in the red bucket because they had a bad experience, right? And then if you have enough bad experiences, let's say that this bucket is really, really filled out, the line here is, of course, like this thing, like the green bucket is going to go up and the red bucket is going to go down because there's more weight over here. And the bucket that has more weight is going to be the stronger belief, right? So let's take it the other way. Let's say that the client literally closes 5 deals a week. They're going to find sales very easy. So the green bucket is going to be filled up, right? And then it kind of looks opposite here. Like now the green bucket is going up. No, the green was going, I'm sorry. The green bucket is going down, right? And the red bucket is going up. Therefore, the belief of sales is easy becomes the winning belief. And this is kind of the way you have to look at things, right? So experiences really create our beliefs. So now, what does that leave you with? Like, you can't really control your experiences. Like, if you get on a sales call and someone just said, no, fuck you, I don't want to do this, like your product sucks, you're bad at selling, they might have had a bad day, and we can't control how their day is, right? So let me just take a water break here. So how do we actually use this knowledge here? How do we use that to our advantage, right? Of course, if you want to be good at sales, you want to have as many good experiences with sales as possible. Now, how can we do that? Well, if we're having a hard time at actually selling, that is okay. But the thing about human beings is that we can imagine, we can dream, we can see out in the future. And that is really, really unique to our species. That's the only species on human Mother Earth, is the Homo sapiens. We are the only kind of animal that can close our eyes, imagine laying on a beach with a pina colada in one hand and just enjoying the sun, right? We are the only animal that can imagine things. That's also why we dream, right? We dream about stuff all the time. Have you ever like woken up from a dream and be like, I felt like I was falling? Because I have. You probably also have if you think about it. So now we have established that, okay, the brain can actually go and create false imaginary experiences that we believe, right? Obviously, we know when we wake up, hey, I dreamt last night. I dreamed, whatever it's called, and it's probably not real. But as we saw in the Andrew Tate example here, let's just find it here. I repeated positive thoughts and it worked, right? So when we repeat positive stuff to ourselves, hey, I'm good at sales, I'm literally sitting down, visualizing myself closing a sale, it's going to be much easier. And then you can create imaginary water in the green bucket, right? It's not going to be as strong as physically experiencing. That's why we use the small and the big thing here. But you can go in and your paradigm is malleable. You can go in and change how you believe things, right? If I really sat down and concentrated all my thoughts upon ghosts being real, at some point I would think that ghosts are real. So basically you can sit down, think, hey, I find sales easy, I'm going to close my next deal and it's going to be a breeze. And if you say that enough times to yourself, you are going to believe it and you are going to get better at sales, right? And then when you do have a bad experience, be stoic. Don't think, oh, I'm bad at sales, oh, this sucks, I'm gonna quit, fuck this shit, right? Think about, okay, he was not ready to buy. Well, why? Why was he not ready to buy? Oh, it was because he wasn't even my target group. Or, hey, he probably just had a bad day, right? So it's really all about perspective here, guys. When you really understand how this works, it's very, very powerful. And I could talk at length about this. I've been going for 25 minutes now. And of course, I don't want to bore you guys too much also with this unscripted video. But the thing is really to understand that beliefs are an acceptance that something exists or is true, especially without proof. And Tate does not believe in taking believe in things that takes power away from him. And I really like that, actually. I would also like to believe. I don't want to believe anything is true if it hurts me. Right? Now, there's also like a point to where it is delusion, right? You cannot just say that, okay, if you think about the climate crisis, that is at some point probably going to hurt me. Well, I'm just going to close my eyes and not think it's real. Of course, it can come to a point of delusion, but having negative thoughts about, hey, I want to give up, I'm not good enough, and all of this stuff, that is the thing we don't want to believe in, because I know that I'm going to be the best agency ever for information businesses. And there is no one who can outcompete me, because I'm literally going to rip up the entire market because I believe in it. And I believe it. And I say it to myself every single day. And at one point, it will become so ingrained in my brain that I don't see a reality where I'm not the best. And that is kind of the understanding and the point of this belief thing here. And also this thing here, it's very, very, very powerful. And it can work both ways, both for you and against you. So I want to end of this video by saying thank you for listening to me ramble for half an hour. And if you want to consume more stuff like this, I suggest you hit the subscribe button, because I'm going to be posting more content like this. I'm going to talk about all sorts of different kinds of things, not wasting your time, giving actual value that I hope you can use. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.